Bengals 31, 49ers 17. And I'll tell you what, the 49ers are not coming close to executing the formula that's seen them win so many games over the past couple of years. Complementary football completely out the window. In the first half, the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Joe Burrow had 20, and the Bengals had 20 first downs in the first half, and the 49ers didn't even reach play number 21 offensively until they got the ball for the 2-minute drill. So, I mean, that was horrific in the first half. And then in the second half, when the 49ers defense finally partly figured it out, I'm not going to pretend that they fully figured this out because they didn't. It was the 49ers offense that made terrible mistakes. Brock Purdy, probably the worst two-throw stretch of his career, right? Jermaine Pratt intercepted him, the linebacker, on that little shot put throw that he tried to make to Elijah Mitchell. And then Logan Wilson over the middle. Brock Purdy, I guess, just didn't see the linebacker crossing over the middle of the field to start the next drive. Another pick. The 49ers had a chance to tie the game. Their defense finally gave them a little bit of juice, gave the offense a chance, and the 49ers offense failed in that opportunity. In the first half, I thought the offense was doing fine. They were moving the ball, they were explosive, but they started turning it over in the second half. And special teams didn't help the 49ers at all in this game at crucial junctures. There was a kick return that they gave up after the first touchdown that put Cincinnati right back in business. There was a chance after the 49ers had a punt from, the 49-yard line around midfield where they could have pinned the Bengals back deep. They didn't pin them back deep because Mitch Wishnowsky punted it to the 19, only 30 net yards. You know, it's a team sport. Offense, defense, special teams, they all have to cohesively work together. And for the 49ers in this game, they didn't. I liken the season to a boxing match. The first round of the boxing match is now over. The 49ers heard the bell, and they're happy to hear the bell because they are haggard right now. They're beaten up. Obviously, they don't have Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel. They're getting whipped up front, and they need to regroup over this bye week. They absolutely have to take a breather and figure out what hit them, because they look like the best team in football through 5 games. They were the best team in football through 5 games, but they haven't looked like a playoff team here, especially today, because they couldn't play the type of complementary football that is necessary. So, you look at the bye week coming at this time, and you say, if you want to continue that boxing match analogy, the 49ers landed 5 punches to open the game. They've now taken 3 on the chin, and they're up against the ropes. They're just guarding their head. They made it into the bye week. I don't think their health situation got much worse. There might have been a couple injuries for the 49ers in this game that we don't know about yet, but they have made it into the bye, and now they have to lick their wounds. They have to circle the wagons. They have to regroup. The 2021 team lost 4 games in a row. The 2022 team lost as much as 2 games in a row, week 6 and 7. The losing streak now sits at 3 here in 2023. In the big picture, the Seahawks won today, so the 49ers are no longer in first place in the NFC West. So absolutely in the position where they're going to have to scrap moving forward, because they're no longer the NFC favorite. They're no longer the NFC West leader right now, right? They've taken 3 on the chin entering the bye week, and they have to figure out what's wrong on a complementary level. If you want me to get into specifics defensively, they weren't setting edges. I think part of this team's identity now is poor run defense. 5 yards a carry, 134 yards for Joe Mixon and the Bengals. Joe Burrow ran for several yards in the first half. The 49ers were not prepared for a quarterback draw that I thought was really bad on 3rd and long from Cincinnati. So, a play like that, I mean, it's all about scheme. It's all about preparation, right? And I don't think the coverage combinations were fixed early in the game. Maybe they got a bit better in the second half. But if you're not setting edges against the run game, which the 49ers absolutely weren't doing for most of this game, the last Mixon touchdown came around the edge to beat Nick Bosa, you're putting yourself in a huge disadvantage because you're giving up 5 yards of play, right? 5 yards of rush just to begin. And then Joe Burrow is going to roast you from that kind of platform. So many good throws today to Jamar Chase, but he had a platform to succeed. I know Eric Armstead had 2 sacks. That was part of the minor 49ers defensive renaissance in the second half. But again, by that point, the offense wasn't doing its job. And, you want to talk about the offense? Brock Purdy was the leading rusher. So without Trent Williams, they haven't been able to run. Will Big Trent help the 49ers do that, run at a level they need to? 23 carries today. Shanahan likes to control game flow and get up to 40, but you can't do that when the running back game isn't as efficient as it should be, and when you're not playing complementary football. You need your defense to help you out there. Brock Purdy was the leading rusher. I mean, you can't say he's physically limited because he was running all over the field, making great passes on the move until he wasn't anymore, until he threw that interception to Jermaine Pratt, which was, 17-10. It was a chance for the 49ers to tie this game, start fresh with the defense. And then Purdy throws that pick, then he throws another pick on the 49ers' very next drive when they're trying to, mount another comeback in this game. And that one was to Logan Wilson over the middle of the field. Purdy just didn't see him. So the 49ers have a very specific formula to win games, and we've seen them implemented to great effectiveness in 2021 and 2022 in both of those seasons after they got rolling. It involves stopping the run, running on offense, controlling the line of scrimmage. And I firmly believe they've gotten whipped at the line of scrimmage to an increasing amount over every single one of these games in the losing streak over these past 3 weeks. They dominated Dallas on both fronts, but their offensive front got dominated by Cleveland. Last week against Minnesota, their defensive front got dominated by the Vikings, and today I think both fronts got dominated by the Cincinnati Bengals. They need Trent Williams back. I think it's going to help a lot after the bye week. They're going to try to reestablish some order in these games through the run game because you have to have that as your backbone. That's part of the formula. And I guess they can take, some solace in the fact that they had a couple positive defensive plays in the second half. You had the Eric Armstead sacks. You had the fumble forced by Cleveland Farrell at the end of the first half that Isaiah Oliver recovered. But I mean, if you're pessimistic, you just say, well, this game should have been a blowout much sooner if they hadn't gotten that fumble. So the defense, I think, absolutely. Here's the number for you. Between Kirk Cousins and Joe Burrow, the defense has given up 67 out of 77 passes for 661 yards. It's like 8.6 yards per attempt over the past 2 weeks. It's been absolute scorched earth. I think at a level even worse than last year against Kansas City in Week 7 because it's been 2 straight games now. And I get it. The Bengals were coming off of a bye and the 49ers were in a situation where they were on short rest. But the 49ers talked so much about needing to prove they could win a gritty game with their backs up against the wall, that they could land a punch before heading into the break, right? Before heading into that round break, if you want to liken it to the boxing match. And they had an opportunity to deliver in gritty fashion today, but they didn't. So this team still, they're still front runners right now. They're a team that steamrolled everybody when things were going well, but haven't been able to show that championship resolve when things aren't going well. The good news is that the season is long for the 49ers, and they have the bye week right now to try to figure some of this stuff out. But what they've put on the field here over the past 3 weeks, especially today, because we saw those complementary failures on both sides of the ball, certainly does not spell well for this football team. So the chance to turn it around is going to have to come in Jacksonville, and the chance to circle the wagons is now over the bye week. All right, I'm off to the locker room. Talk to you soon.